After leaving the forest behind, Siddhartha continued to walk, not aimlessly, not in haste, but with a quiet determination that had no name yet. He no longer belonged to the palace, but he did not yet belong to the truth. Between those two worlds there was only the path. Villages passed, rivers were crossed, seasons changed without asking his permission. His body carried the marks of the journey, dust on the skin, hunger in the stomach, fatigue in the bones. And yet his mind remained alert, searching, listening, watching. Siddhartha had left comfort behind, but now he sought something more precise, not escape, not distraction, understanding. One day he heard of a man known for his wisdom, a teacher whose mind had reached deep stillness. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. Many followed him. Many believed he had reached the highest truth. Siddhartha went to him, not as a disciple seeking authority, but as a seeker testing reality. Alara welcomed him. There were no palaces here, no rituals of excess, only discipline, silence, and long hours of inward attention. Siddhartha learned quickly, faster than the others. He listened, he practiced, he refined his attention with precision. He learned to withdraw from the senses, to quiet the noise of thought, to settle the mind into vast, formless stillness. There were moments when the world disappeared. No body, no hunger, no fear, only space, only awareness, still, boundless, calm beyond anything he had known before. Others saw this and were amazed. Some bowed to him, some whispered that he had surpassed the teacher. Siddhartha Gautama himself offered Siddhartha a place beside him, an equal, a successor. For many, this would have been the end. Peace had been found. The mind was calm, the body no longer ruled by desire. But Siddhartha did not feel complete. Something was missing. He sat with the stillness and examined it carefully. This calm was real, but it was temporary. When attention shifted, the world returned. When hunger came, the body spoke again. When the session ended, life resumed. Suffering was quieted, but it was not ended. And Siddhartha saw something crucial. Even refined states of consciousness arise and pass. They were beautiful, but they were conditioned. And what is conditioned cannot be final. He went to Siddhartha Gautama and spoke honestly. "This path brings peace," Siddhartha said, "but it does not bring freedom." There was no anger in his voice, no rejection, only clarity. Alara did not argue. He understood, and so Siddhartha left. Soon after, he met another teacher, Uddaka Ramaputta, a man whose practice went even deeper, beyond perception, beyond form, beyond what words could easily describe. Again, Siddhartha trained. Again, he learned quickly. Again, the mind reached extraordinary states, places where identity thinned, where thought barely stirred, where existence itself felt distant. Once more respect followed. Once more he was offered a place of honor. And once more Siddhartha looked deeper. These states were subtle, refined, almost empty, but not completely free. When he emerged from them, suffering returned, quiet, patient, unresolved. Siddhartha understood something vital. Liberation could not be something you entered and then left. Truth could not depend on posture, breath, or technique alone. If awakening vanished when attention shifted, then it was not awakening. So he left again, not disappointed, not lost, but sharper than before. He now knew what the path was not. Calm alone was not enough. Silence alone was not enough. He had left pleasure, he had tasted peace, and yet suffering remained, still unresolved, still waiting. After leaving the great teachers behind, Siddhartha walked alone once more. This time his direction was not toward calm, it was toward certainty. If comfort had failed him and refined peace had proven incomplete, then perhaps the answer lay in the opposite direction. Not in easing the body, but in conquering it. He began to seek out ascetics, men who had turned their backs completely on pleasure, men who believed that liberation could be reached by breaking the body's grip on the mind. They lived at the edge of survival, in forests, on barren ground, under open skies. They ate little, slept less, spoke rarely. Their bodies were thin, hollowed, marked by years of discipline and denial. To many, they looked destroyed. To Siddhartha, they looked free. He joined them. At first, the discipline felt familiar. Hunger, cold, discomfort. He had already tasted these things. But the ascetics went further, much further. Food was reduced again and again. One meal became a handful became a few grains, sometimes nothing at all. Breath was controlled, restricted, held. The body weakened, but the will hardened. Siddhartha believed this was necessary. If desire was the root of suffering, then starving desire must bring freedom. If attachment bound the mind, then punishing the body might release it. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. His ribs became visible beneath his skin. His limbs thinned, muscles faded. The mirror of water reflected a body he barely recognized. Hair fell out. The skin lost its glow. Eyes sank deep into the face, and yet he did not stop. If anything, his resolve intensified. Pain became constant, not dramatic, not sharp, but endless. A dull pressure that never left. Breathing required effort. Standing demanded focus. Walking became slow, deliberate, fragile. The ascetics watched him with awe. No one had gone this far. No one had endured so much. They believed he was close, very close. And Siddhartha believed it too. But something strange began to happen. Instead of clarity, the mind grew dull. Instead of insight, thoughts became heavy. Awareness flickered. Concentration collapsed under exhaustion. When hunger screamed loudly enough, there was no space left to observe it. Only the urge to survive. The body no longer whispered, it shouted, and the mind obeyed. One day, as Siddhartha attempted to meditate, his vision darkened. The world tilted, the ground rushed upward, and his body collapsed. Breath shallow, limbs unresponsive, life hanging by a thread. Villagers passing by thought he was dead. Some said he should be left alone. Others felt compassion. A young woman named Sujata approached. She carried a bowl of milk and rice. She did not see a seeker. She did not see a philosopher. She saw a man dying. She knelt beside him and offered the bowl. At first, Siddhartha refused. His entire identity was built on refusal. But the body no longer cared about identity. The hands trembled. The breath struggled. And something inside him shifted. A simple question arose. If this path leads to death, what truth will it reveal? Siddhartha accepted the food. The first taste was shocking, warm, nourishing, life returning with every swallow. The body responded immediately. Strength stirred, breath deepened. The fog in the mind began to lift. The ascetics watched in disbelief. Some were angry, some were disappointed. They believed he had failed, that he had abandoned the path, that indulgence had defeated discipline. They turned away from him and left him alone. Once again, Siddhartha was alone. But this time, something essential had changed. As strength returned, clarity followed. And with it came a realization so sharp it cut through years of effort. Suffering does not end by torturing the body. Pain does not purify awareness. Extreme pleasure had failed him. Extreme pain had failed him. Both were traps, different shapes, same chain. He saw it clearly now. The body is not the enemy, but it is not the master either. When starved, it dominates the mind. When indulged, it distracts it. Neither leads to freedom. Balance was not weakness. It was precision. For the first time, Siddhartha saw the middle, not as compromise, but as clarity. He washed himself in the river and let the water carry away dust, blood, years of obsession. He sat beneath a tree as the sun lowered in the sky. The body rested. The breath flowed naturally, not forced, not controlled, just present. And for the first time in a long while, the mind did not struggle. It settled, not into dullness, not into trance, but into alert stillness. Siddhartha did not know it yet, but he had reached the edge. Beyond this point, there would be no extremes left to try. Only truth, only direct seeing, only the question that had driven him from the palace. What is suffering, and how does it truly end? As the light of the day slowly softened, he noticed something subtle. When the body was neither indulged nor punished, the mind became clear, not excited, not dull, clear. Thoughts still arose, memories still appeared, sensations still moved through him, but they no longer dragged him away. They passed like clouds across an open sky. Siddhartha saw the pattern. Every extreme had demanded control. Control of the senses, control of hunger, control of breath, control of thought. And every attempt at control had created tension. Effort piled upon effort. Desire disguised as discipline. Aversion disguised as purity. The realization settled gently. Liberation would not come from dominating life. It would come from understanding it. This was the middle way. Not halfway, not compromise, but alignment. A path that did not swing between pleasure and pain. A path that allowed awareness to remain steady without distortion. He followed the river until the land opened into quiet fields. As dusk approached, he came upon a great tree, wide, ancient. Its branches spread like sheltering arms. This would be the place. He sat at its base, spine upright, hands resting naturally, eyes lowered. The breath found its rhythm, not guided, not restrained, just observed. Inhale, exhale, present. Siddhartha made a silent vow, not to gods, not to forces unseen, but to truth itself. I will not rise from this seat until I understand suffering and the end of suffering. The night deepened. The world grew quiet. Crickets sang. Leaves shifted. The river whispered in the distance. Within him, layers began to unfold. Memories surfaced, not gently, but vividly. Scenes from childhood, from the palace, from the night he left. Faces, voices, moments of joy, moments of fear, moments of attachment. He did not push them away. He did not follow them. He watched. As each image arose, it dissolved. As each emotion surged, it faded. He saw the law beneath them. Everything that arises passes. Nothing holds. Nothing stays. Then came deeper currents. Fear without an object. Desire without form. The instinct to exist. The instinct to cling. The instinct to resist change. These were not thoughts. They were forces. Ancient. Impersonal. Shared by all living beings. Siddhartha did not name them. He felt them directly, and he saw their nature. They arose from ignorance, from not seeing clearly, from mistaking the impermanent for permanent, the unsatisfactory for fulfilling, the selfless for self. As awareness deepened, the grip loosened, not by effort, but by understanding. Then came stillness, not sleep, not trance, but a silence filled with clarity. In that silence, insight unfolded. Suffering exists, not as punishment, not as accident, but as condition. Craving leads to suffering. Clinging bends the mind. Resistance fuels pain, and freedom arises when craving ends. Not by suppression, but by insight. He saw the path, clear, precise, practical. Right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Not rules, not commandments, but alignment with reality. As dawn approached, the sky began to lighten. The stars faded. birds stirred, the world returned. But Siddhartha did not return to the world as before. Something irreversible had occurred. Ignorance had fallen away, not gradually, but decisively. The mind no longer grasped, no longer feared, no longer searched. There was nothing left to seek, no self to defend, no identity to protect, only awareness, open, boundless, free. At sunrise, Siddhartha Gautama was no longer a seeker. He had awakened, not into bliss, but into truth. He saw suffering, he saw its cause, he saw its end, and he saw the path that leads beyond it. The world did not change. The trees were the same. The river flowed as before. But everything was different because perception was different. Compassion arose naturally, not as duty, but as response. Seeing clearly meant caring deeply, not clinging, not controlling, but understanding. Siddhartha stood, the body light, the mind unobstructed, the heart open. From this moment on, he would not live for himself alone. He would teach, not as a savior, not as a god, but as one who points. This is suffering. This is its cause. This is its end. This is the path. The middle way had been found, and with it, a light that would travel far beyond this tree, across lands, across centuries, across minds. The Buddha had awakened, and the world would never be the same.